OpenAI and SB Energy recently announced plans for a 10-gigawatt data center campus in Pike County, Ohio. To put that in perspective, a 10-gigawatt draw requires roughly 9.2 gigawatts of new natural gas generation. With a timeline spanning decades and a total project cost north of $500 billion, the scale of this commitment is staggering. Nvidia is underwriting this move with a $105 billion lease guarantee. We have to update our definitions to match this scale. Organizations like Nvidia and OpenAI are apex operators, orchestrating vast, intersecting reserves of global compute, capital, and energy. In the boardroom, these deals are negotiated human to human at high speed. Executives look at the math, sign the leases, and order the chips. This workflow creates the greenfield paradox, the corporate hallucination that multi-billion-dollar deployments occur in a clean, isolated vacuum, completely disconnected from the outside world. Boardroom agreements do not automatically translate to terrestrial execution. Assuming a clean slate when dropping 10 gigawatts of demand onto a living environment creates a massive structural risk for the entire project. The proposed site in Ohio is actually a dense, highly entangled environment. This is the Ports facility, a former Cold War-era uranium enrichment site that requires intense environmental remediation before any servers can be installed. This project is where one-dimensional, high-speed technology crashes into the multidimensional reality of local watersheds and regional power grids. It is a violent collision between digital ambition and physical constraints. Attempting to manage this complexity with 20th-century tools, like static PDFs and fragmented ledgers, simply fails. These outdated systems lack the dimensional capacity to handle a biological and sovereign deployment of this magnitude. This friction creates ghost queues. Because legacy systems cannot process the asynchronous demands of the physical world, the project gets trapped in interconnection delays that can last for years. Without a mechanism to bridge the gap between algorithmic speed and the latency of the physical Earth, $500 billion in capital will quickly become stranded. Solving this requires a maturation shell, a neutral environment that organizes chaotic, asynchronous deals through the 15-layer ontological systemic integration, or OSI, protocol stack. Layer 1 is the physical. To safely ground the facility, the local power grid and watershed must cryptographically attest to their absolute thermodynamic limits. This ensures the data center never breaches the regenerative capacity of the environment. Layer 2 focuses on the social dimension. Local workers are mathematically required yield factors. They act as a biological oracle, witnessing physical truth on the ground to strip away any corporate AI hallucinations about the project's status. The sovereign dimension occupies Layer 3. Using policy as code, the state can bypass 5-year regulatory lags to instantly shield its citizens while clearing multi-jurisdictional routing at high speed. Finally, the cyber layer caps the stack. Once the physical, social, and sovereign layers are cleared, apex operators are untethered to execute digital capabilities globally with zero latency. Forcing these 4 disparate dimensions into a managed, synchronous state is the only way to collapse ghost queues and achieve a real-world deployment. The 10-gigawatt Ohio campus functions as a dynamic enterprise portal. It is a hub designed to stream advanced technology across North America in milliseconds. This portal creates wicked edges. Compute generated in Ohio will instantly interact with autonomous logistics in Canada and healthcare networks in Mexico. This introduces the multi-layer settlement problem. The system must simultaneously clear fiat capital, physical megawatts, and hardware logistics across completely different ledgers at the exact moment of execution. Successful deployment requires more than just processing power. It requires the flawless co-settlement of every physical and digital resource involved. The tension between technological progress and local ecological health is often framed as a zero-sum choice. By using a maturation bridge, we can pursue the "and" model, where massive industrial expansion occurs alongside and in support of the local environment. Adopting macro-systemic architecture removes the friction in the interstitial space. It allows operators, the grid, and sovereign states to integrate their systems without compromising their unique requirements. Co-creating a highly coherent, multidimensional reality is the only path forward. It ensures this infrastructure serves as a permanent engine of prosperity for the operators, the grid, and the community alike.